When it comes to cordless vacuums, the options can seem overwhelming. Sleek designs, bold promises, endless advertising, but the real question is, which one is right for you? That's where I step in. I've spent hours putting these vacuums to the test, checking suction power, battery life, and how well they trap dust and allergens. My aim is to guide you toward the model that truly fits your needs. Just to clarify, this video is all about cordless vacuums, not robot vacuums, since that's a separate category altogether. Most of the machines featured here are ones I've personally tested, but I'll also highlight a few others to give you a wider perspective. And if you want a deep dive into the results, check out my detailed reviews where I break everything down to help you choose the best option. Let's begin by looking at the main types of cordless vacuums, and some common terms manufacturers throw around. The most popular style is what's known as a stick vacuum. Regardless of brand, the layout is fairly consistent. The motor and dustbin sit near the handle at the top, connected to a long extension tube leading to the cleaning head. Dyson was the first to push this design, focusing heavily on versatility. With the motor at the top, you can remove the tube and instantly use it as a handheld. This setup has since become the standard for most shoppers, mainly because it's the model companies promote the most. Stick vacuums are generally the most flexible, and often the strongest performing, cordless choice. Their biggest drawback, though, is dustbin size. Most have very small containers, usually under half a liter, so frequent emptying is required. Dyson does sell larger versions with bigger bins, but these tend to feel top-heavy and less comfortable in handheld mode. Another drawback is that most stick vacuums can't stand upright on their own, and instead require a wall-mounted dock for vertical storage. Some brands, like Shark and LG, solve this by adding a freestanding base or designing mechanisms that allow the vacuum to balance in place. Beyond storage, each brand adds its own signature features, with Dyson and Shark being the most notable. Dyson, for example, introduced the Laser Slim Roller on the V15, which projects a vivid green laser that reveals dust far better than any white LED vacuum I had tested at the time. Shark's Vertex series takes a different approach, featuring a foldable extension tube that not only lets you reach further under furniture without crouching, but also makes the vacuum self-standing without a dock. There's also a sort of unofficial subcategory we can call mini-stick vacuums. These include models like the Shark WandVac or Dyson Micro 1.5 kg, both weighing under 5 pounds. They're slim, ultra-light, and highly maneuverable, built with portability in mind, perfect for smaller spaces or quick cleanups. After stick vacuums, another type is the cordless upright vacuum. They're similar to traditional upright models, featuring a larger canister for more dirt capacity. Unlike stick vacuums, which carry their weight at the top, cordless uprights have their motor and dustbin built into the main body. This design makes them less tiring to use for floor cleaning. They can hold more debris so you can clean for longer without stopping to empty the bin. However, they're not as common as stick vacuums, and their main trade-off is versatility. While some models come with attachments, they aren't as portable as a stick vacuum that can quickly become a handheld. Next, we have the handheld vacuum. As the name suggests, these are designed specifically for above-floor messes, such as in your car or on upholstery. They aren't built for efficient floor cleaning, which limits their use compared to other cordless options. Finally, there's the wet-dry cordless vacuum. This is a great choice if you need to tackle both wet and dry spills. Instead of just suction, these vacuums use a dual tank system. One tank holds clean water to help dissolve messes, while the other collects the dirty water and debris picked up by the rollers. The main drawback is that they aren't ideal for dry debris alone. Since they spray water, things like sand or oats become a messy, inconvenient slurry in the dirty tank. When choosing a cordless vacuum, the battery is a critical factor. You need to consider two things: runtime, how long it lasts on a charge, and whether it's detachable. My tests show that most manufacturers' runtime claims are accurate. I always recommend choosing a vacuum with a detachable battery, or at least one that's bolted on. Avoid models with non-detachable batteries. If the battery fails, you'll have to replace the whole vacuum, which costs more in the long run. Also, stick with reputable brands that are likely to be around for a while. Check their website to see if they sell replacement batteries. Filtration is another important feature. It determines how well the vacuum traps dirt and dust inside the bin. I test this with a fog test to visually see if the vacuum has a proper seal. For specific results, check out my individual reviews to see which models pass and which don't. Power is also key, but there's no universal standard for manufacturers to disclose it. I measure performance using an anemometer to test airflow. Cordless vacuums with higher airflow are generally better at picking up dirt, especially on carpets. However, other factors like nozzle design also play a big role in cleaning performance. This brings me to the next topic: nozzle design. First, there's the standard nozzle with a bristled brush. This is the best choice for carpets because the bristles help agitate and lift dirt. Different brands have their own designs, but the basic principle is the same. Second is the soft roller nozzle, which replaces the bristles with a padded roller. It's far more effective at picking up debris on hard floors. Some brands combine these into a hybrid nozzle, making the vacuum versatile enough for both carpets and hard surfaces. However, a drawback is that hybrid nozzles are often bulkier, making them less maneuverable in tight spaces. The nozzle also contains the steering mechanism, which affects how easily the vacuum can move around furniture. The final factor to consider is weight. Lighter vacuums are easier to maneuver, but they often sacrifice power and dustbin capacity. The goal is to find a model that balances these features. Remember, you only need high airflow for carpeted floors. On hard floors, power isn't as critical. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and tap the bell icon to get notified when I publish new reviews. It really helps me reach more people looking for the right cordless vacuum.